I give you a new commandment. Love one another. As I have loved you, so you also should love one another. This is how all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another.
Honduras is located in Central America and is the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Our sister parish is located in the town of Nueva Palestina, which is situated in the southwestern part of the country, about 30 miles from the Nicaraguan border. Our sister parish, Nuestra Señora de Suyapa, is supported by its pastor, Padre Fernando. Padre Fernando's parish covers an area close to 160 square miles and supports over 30 remote villages called aldeas. Travel to the aldeas is over poor roads that are impassable during the rainy season. The lifestyle of the sister parish community is quite simple. Most of Padre's parishioners are subsistence farmers who earn less than $60 a month and support their families by living off the land since there is no industry in the area. Very few of Padre's parishioners have even the basic comfort of electricity. St. Michael sent our first delegation down to Honduras in 2002 and has sent a delegation each year since, including the one where the newly built church was dedicated last October. While we found the parishioners to be very poor in terms of world economics, we found rich hearts with a strong love for us and love for Jesus Christ.
Through your generous support, the worship space was expanded and renovated, then dedicated on October 13, 2012. The new worship space has made their parish community into a family and has become a home and shelter in times of need. To support the Pastoral Leadership Council, we have provided Spanish Bibles, rosary beads, and prayer cards. We have ministered to them and made their spiritual burden a little easier.
Since the early years, we have been able to assist our sister parish with basic medical needs and hygiene education. St. Michael's parishioners provide the funding for a part-time doctor, a nurse, and 3 health promoters that work with and treat the parishioners in Nueva Palestina and visit 17 of the 30 aldeas in the parish. The doctor and health promoters focus on the children and women in the area. They treat the needs of the pregnant women and the sick. Lack of latrines and the prevalence of parasites in water are the main causes of disease and dysentery. In addition, sewage is ingested by livestock, which contaminates a possible food supply for the families. While we have provided a number of latrines and water purification filters, the lack of sanitary facilities and clean water remains a major problem and cause of disease. We have seen a significant reduction in parasites among children in areas where we have installed latrines and clean water filters. As a result, we no longer need to provide parasitic-related medicines. These efforts, while not complete, are making a major difference in the lives and health of the children. We have helped over 200 families put roofs on their homes and concrete floors under their feet that keeps them dry in the rainy season and out of the mud. While we have assisted many families, there are still numerous families living in extreme conditions.
Through your generous support and in partnership with NC State University, we started an agricultural program in 2012. NC State identified a professor of agriculture, and we hired a local agricultural graduate to promote and teach farming to students in Nueva Choluteca High School. Students learn to raise food crops in a way that protects soil and water resources while at the same time learning critical skills. A demonstration farm has been established at the school for hands-on training and also serves to demonstrate these methods to community farmers. This resulted in crops that allowed our brethren to feed their families and have additional income. As part of this project, a well was built that provides water via irrigation during the dry season for the farm. One successful story is that of a parishioner farmer and mother called Sophie. Sophie is now a successful entrepreneur, and her farm is growing because of your support. The education and assistance provided allow her to obtain a microloan for coffee plants to grow her farm. One of our early delegations noticed that many children were not attending school during the day. We found out that while school is provided free by the government, each student had to have uniforms, shoes, books, and supplies in order to attend. At a cost of approximately $75 per year per student, many of the parish families were unable to send their children to school. Today, through the generous support of St. Michael's sponsoring families, over 450 children go to school. Last year, 22 of the students graduated from high school. When the program was first started, hardly any student went beyond the 6th grade. Through your support, we also built an education center that allows young women and men to be trained in various vocations. It is our hope that we can begin a process that will allow young people to learn a trade, provide them a decent living, and self-esteem. We are teaching them to fish.
While we have made great progress, our work is far from complete. Subsistence farming is a tough way of life, and most families barely make enough money to live. On a trip, a man we encountered had almost all of his 12 children working the field because they could bring in much-needed income for the family. Each child could earn $20 a month to support the family, and that was deemed essential compared to an education. A St. Michael's family generously adopted the family and supplemented the income needed to allow those children to continue going to school. Years later, the children have graduated and now have a future filled with hope and promise. The father was so overcome with joy and gratitude for the love that was shown by one of our own, he kept praising Jesus for sending St. Michael's to help. Electricity, while now available in Nueva Palestina, is far beyond the affordability of all but a few families. Cooking for the family is hard, where much of the day is spent gathering wood for the kitchen fire or carrying water from a nearby or not so nearby stream. The in-home kitchen fire also provides difficult challenges with an ever-growing health concern of respiratory disease. Children are very small and continue to lack basic vitamins and nutrition because all of these factors. Our health promoters do the best they can, but their resources and supplies are limited. Children born with health defects have limited or no hope for recovery. While our sisters and brothers in Honduras are poor in economic terms, they remain rich in faith and spirit, and rich in their love for us and their love for Jesus Christ. They pray for us each and every day and are so very grateful for all we at St. Michael's have done for them. We are always greeted with smiles, and when we leave, we hear the familiar words, Vaya con Dios, which means go with God.
There are envelopes in your pews, and we are doing a second collection today using the bright colored baskets. If you do not have your checkbook with you, please take an envelope home and return it next week in the collection basket, drop it off in the parish office, or mail it in to the parish office. We will also have people in the back of the church after Mass today who will allow you to make a donation using a credit or debit card. Please be generous.